Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Norman series here on the Lord Master channel. Well, this is the first episode without our first leader and ruler of and founder, don't forget founder, of House de Normandie, Hrolfr, who was the founder. Marquess Hrolfr the Wolf Slayer, a man who was born in somewhere in Scandinavia, as he was formerly called Ganga, and he was the Walker of the North. And then he traveled all across Scandinavia, Iceland, Ireland, Britain, and parts of Francia, and even as far south as Egypt. And then eventually during his travels, he was going to go on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem for one last great adventure, but that adventure would cost him. Because over on this mountain pass over here in Upper Burgundy area, which is where he would succumb to the illness due to eating some really bad cheese, and then he later got pneumonia, and then there in the county of Pagania, which is the home of the all those old Slavic pagans that are still around. But it is here in the barony of Osmish is where he passed. That's where he died of pneumonia, there. And then his eldest son, William, decided to honor his father by continuing on the journey to go eastward. Even traveling to places that no one's ever gone that far before as a Norman. Even reached to the corners of Bactria, Kabulistan, and even traveled through the Gadrosian desert until eventually inside the villa of Istakir. There, in Persia proper, is where he would meet his fate, at the hands of bandits that lived there, and he was killed for it. And so now, here in Normandy, is where this journey, this story continues. As it is I, Marquess Jordan of Normandy, who's 19 years old, and I got good skills. I'm an exalted administrator. I almost said exterminator for whatever reason. While I have a scorpion-like demeanor, I'm a defender, as I've proven myself to fight one little conflict within Normandy. I'm a child of a concubine, yes, as my mother was Elizabeth, a French woman who was of the old insularism faith, Celtic Christianity. But there's a disputed heritage of mine, as credible rumors surround this heritage. Many said that his father is someone else. But I can tell you, in the record books, my father is Hrolfr, the Wolf Slayer. Anyone who says otherwise are liars. Liars, I tell you. Yeah, nobody knows what my real father was. And as far as I can tell, I don't remember and I don't give a care. What I care now is money. Now look, I'm a lot like my father, as I am just and brave, but also I'm rather greedy, as I would like to accumulate as much gold as possible and make some good investments every now and again. And also I'm asexual, which means I'm not attracted to anyone, either man or woman. I'm just my own man. Alright? If I wanted to marry, I'll marry eventually. And speaking of marriages, as we are of 6 living members of the dynasty, and given this what happened to father, what happened to William, I think it would be best to betroth every single one of my brothers. Betroth or marry every single one of my siblings. Particularly those who are heirs to any lands. Actually, the best way to go for that is look for prestige gain. That's the best way to do it. Aha! Son of Princess heir to the Principality of Debutantes and the Lordship of the matrilineal marriage, will accept. Terrified of me and wants an alliance. You got it. Okay, we got one down. So future generations of House de Normandy will be ruling over these lands, thus increasing my renown gain, as it will become noteworthy soon. Selova. Look for prestige gain. We got one. The Duchy of Ba. I mean, that's gonna take a while. I mean, she'll be near her 30s by the time he gets up there, so you may want to rethink it. And there's no telling if... Oh, son's healthy. And his twins. With, Herbert. Well, the one who came out of the womb first is the one that's gonna inherit the duchy. And where is the Duchy about anyway? Oh, over there. Part of the Lotharingia. Go ahead. Perhaps in future generations' time. Yes, my half-brother and bastard. Godfrey, in case something happens to me, you're the one that's going to take over. And please look for ones that will inherit one of the lands. Heir to the County of Bern, that's in Switzerland. And is a princess. Kalaman is sickly. If he were to die, then may inherit these kingdoms in future generations' time, then Normandie gets to rule these kingdoms. But for now, an alliance with Lotharingia is a good one. Go ahead. Who else used this? We're gonna have so many damn alliances by the end of this. Who else? Heir to the kingdom. Always pregnant. You may want to disregard that because they may have a son from this. Heir to the Duchy of Toulouse. Oh my goodness. Hideous and club-footed. Spouse regent. Well, there's no guaranteeing everything about this. But since it's within the realm, it's possible we can go to war to, you know, push her claim over here, even though she is, you know, hideous looking, but I don't give a damn. Politics procedures. It's important to get him over. And even if we were to, and after the marriage, and then when she comes to court, then perhaps I'll fight in a future war to push the claim to put her over to that duchy over there. And then Future generations will come, then there you go. Now remember, Toulouse is way down there, so it's a long way. But that is an if. You can't assassinate him. You can't. But that's a big if something happens to him, like an accident while traveling, in which, where's he going, by the way? Oh, attending the feast. Speaking of the feast, oh yeah, I get to be there too. And another thing. I want you to go for the Chelsea. Go for the raid and try to get some gold out of it while we wait. My master of raids, Hugh, approaches me with a bold proposition. He suggests launching a chevauchée, a swift-mounted raid deep in the lands of Petty Queen Ospe. Our primary goal is plunder. He believes we can extract significant wealth by targeting vulnerable settlements and supply lines. He has already identified 3 capable knights for the task: Gavet, Devolt, and Jacques. Assemble the potential raiding party. The raiding party requires a leader, someone to command the knights and make tactical decisions regarding the chevauchée. The Master Raids has presented the 3 candidates, each a proven warrior in their own right. Gilbert grips his weapon with quiet confidence. Devolt stands resolute behind his shield, and Jacques has his axe, a fierce Cleansite. Whom shall I entrust in leading this dangerous venture? Let me examine all of you. Devolt, I trust him to lead the charge. You the man. The raiding party is assembled. At its head stands Devolt, chosen to lead the chevauchée. Flanked by Gilbert and Jacques, they await my final command. Horses snorted patiently, leather creaks in the air, drums of anticipation. My master of raids here gives a sharp nod, indicating all is prepared. The success of this venture now rests on their skill, courage, and perhaps a measure of luck. Let the fires be lit. Ride forth. So they'll be back in 1 year. 66% chance of just suggest a reasonable chance. Because 33% chance of failure is a possibility. Got it. I mean, I don't want to go raiding right now. Just do this one raid, and 1 year later, it's raiding season. Yeah, let's go attend that feast. I can take the hint of travel dangers and things like that. Don't want to spend too much money as I'm a greedy person. I can handle whatever dangers you got. And then after that, we'll go over the tours. And then pass through Paris and then back home. See? We're ready now. Let's move up. Make sure that the Duke of Toulouse is in attendance, because I got something for him. Yeah, we know how that works. No longer my caravan master, just as when we were departing. The wetlands of our quarters swarm with tiny, dark, blood-sucking insects. No matter what we do or where we go, they're there, leeching our blood like a torturous cloud sent by Satan himself. Now that the horse is getting flighty and temperamental, my montage as well, especially my bodyguard, Ipati, son of wolves, who's been with me since the beginning, who's fiercely flailing his sanguine-covered arms. Push through, they're mere insects. Damn mosquitoes. Glad to accept the betrothal. Thank you. Here you take temporary appointment. You're allied of the King of Lotharingia. That's excellent. But mind you, it's not a strong kingdom, it's a rump state. Good. My entourage passes through along without issue. until I hear some commotion coming from around my guards. Eventually, a stranger manages to push through and stands on my side, being as if blessed by God himself. By God, by the Lord, by Jesus, it's the Marquess of Normandy. I desire nothing more than to serve you unconditionally for the rest of my life. The guards stand to ready to throw her back in the mud, but she would certainly make a for a loyal courtier. Characters like these never tended to be good at skill. And hey, a fellow exilexual as well. Solidarity, even though she's rather lustful. So, I'm not quite sure what she's getting at here. But yeah, go ahead and join. Dog-like demeanor. Can you treat him? As we traverse the flatlands, trudging through the mud, we encounter a modest wayward shrine. Naively carved, it sports across its head and below the lettered words, "Here lies Saint Aldemande of Anjou, the blessed daughter of La Fèche." Saint Aldemande of Anjou. It seems a local spiritual figure is being patronized in these parts, not one sanctioned by the Catholic clergy. I don't know who you are. The relation between us and the French. Get the popular opinion up would be a good idea. And makes cultural acceptance between us Normans and the French a bit more tolerable. Ditch! So I'll ride rough for now. Servants run across the hall, bringing the fauna decorations. Someone gets yet to arrive, and indulge myself with a delicious drink by the fire. I can't wait for that fop-doodle to make a fool out of himself. I can't wait to go home. 2 months till it begins? I'm waiting for you. Betrothed, yes. He's on his way. Remember, we got 2 months before it begins. He'll be there by then. I'm aware of Bahram, who is a rather hostile courtier of mine, because he's Persian and a Muslim. Is he here? He's here. No, he's not. He's got a delay. Educational success in my county. Excellent. Alright, he's arrived. I got plans for you, but although the chances are not great, as I'm not one for intrigue and I'm a just character. Yeah, I'll tell you that in a moment. I'm gonna murder somebody. Yeah, I'm gonna murder that man. And then befriend someone afterward. But the chances are rather low because he is a, you know, he's paranoid and sadistic and has high intrigue. So this is like a, like even if I do become an attempted murderer, then, you know, it is. Every guy's scattered in the hall, and our gracious host Duke Hrolfr has welcomed himself to the feast. I look forward to this. Let's give it a try, huh? My fellow vassal, Calton, and Jeffoy, Non's energetically scoots over to me. My implacable fellow vassal. Such times we've shared, such memories. As always. It is a joyful day when I'm blessed with your company. Ah, yes, nearby Count Gosher, Ethnicities injects. People tell your past when Count Hrolfr Crown became friends of Marquess Jordan of Normandy. I don't remember being friends with him, but fine memories to come. Servants carry out impressively ordained entertainments. Several peacocks, skinned, cooked, and stuffed, and redressed in their magnificent plumages. However, as Duke Eudes brought his knife close to one of them, the fowl came with a shriek. This one wasn't cooked at all. It pecked at his nose before bursting forth among the screaming and laughing guests. As the word ran wild, Count Guillaume rose to the challenge. It proved great entertainment to see him desperately chase the raving creature across tables. In the end, he managed to scare the peacock towards the great hall doors where it escaped into fresh air among the clear stars. What a riot! That'll be a great stress reducer. It's a rare person who can go an entire feast without needing at least a little time outside, away from the hubbub, even only to relieve themselves. Fortunately for me, Duke Emmanuel is no exception. From a nearby alcove, I watch as he wanders along the edge of a river close to the walls. My blackjack clutched in hand, I just need to hit him hard, and now that he is stunned, the water will take care of the rest. Even look like an accident. I've got the element of surprise, so if the plan goes awry, which it definitely will, bolt ticket time should be a problem. Sadly, it likely won't take much for murdering to hold my suspicious absence. Justin Brave. Son of a beeswax. If I become an attempted murderer, that man's never going to forgive me. Well, you can't check it out now, so give it a shot. Hey, Thomas with still conscience. Duke throws fish soon going to be at an end. Most every guest seems pleased except for Eudes, who still clutches on that peacock marked him. You should do this more often, my fellow vassal. Died from being ill. He was my court chronicler. We don't need a court chronicler anymore. We shall all tell Duchess Dolce had too much to drink, even though she insisted on showing us how sober she was. Sipping rising from her seat proved too much for her. And now in spite of her stinking vomit. Steward. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Dodger. Higher standards of courtesy. There are certain things a noble should simply be too good for. My cold-hearted Quaid sneers as I stumbled outside in the search of a spot to relieve myself. The anger is already boiling in my veins and I'm given devastating wound as he walks towards me. Look who it is, the cocky Nate Jordan. I bet you, just to sink my blade in the infuriating face to hear a soft gasp from behind me. I just straight up murdered a man. Wow. Suspicious circumstances. I didn't kill that man too? No witnesses. Who's your heir? Given that he's shy and trusting. Given that man, he's someone forgiving. Talk about the wrong place, wrong time. Kill him too. No witnesses. Succeed with the murder attempt while on a hunt. It wasn't a hunt, it was a feast. But thanks for the achievement. As the feast of Viets to its inevitable conclusion, there's one event remaining that everyone is expecting. That's Duke Robert's toast to the guest of honor, Count Edebet. It's a decent speech, a bit long-winded. That's usually these things go. The assembled guests clap and whoop politely when it finishes, some more enthusiastically than others. Hear, hear. Hear, hear. Daylight pours through the windows in just a moment when the whole hall becomes illuminated. Most of the seats are now empty. Some servants cheerily pay their respects and take their leave. Duke smiles at me. What a feast! Before coming, my clothes were slack and ill-fitting. Now I staggered out of the best halls twice, full of food and merriment as I arrived. This was a feast I will struggle to forget. But now I shall depart. Well, there you have it. You done killed the Duke of Toulouse. And now the Duchess of Toulouse runs things. As she's going to be on her way to take her place in the throne of Toulouse. Who the hell's this? Well, it matters not, because once it's betrothed and married to him, and then she'll have her offspring, even if they're going to be as ugly as hell, but at least we'll have a place down there. She must be protected at all times for the alliance between us. If anybody threatens you, I will come to your aid. So let's be on our way back home. Illuminated treasure of berry. A shaft of golden light breaks through the forest canopy as my party pauses to rest beside a moss-covered stone. Benmaid wanders off to investigate a particular glint among the fallen leaves and returns with trembling hands, cradling what appears to be a leather-bound book. The tome is a marvel of craftsmanship, its pages adorned with intricate illuminations of azure, crimson, and gold leaf that seems to glow with inner fire. Delicate vines frame biblical scenes rendered with extraordinary skill, while the margins overflow with fantastical creatures and grotesques. The style is unmistakably that of the Borgia school of illumination, renowned throughout Christendom for its mastery of color and detail. How such a treasure came to rest beneath the oak leaves remains a mystery. Perhaps a fleeing monk from one of the many abbeys that dot the land, thieves' abandoned loot, or simply a pilgrim's tragic loss. Benmaid turns the pages with fervent care, eyes wide with scholarly hunger. This could fetch a fortune from the right collector. 55% chance success, 45% chance failure. A probable exchange. A wealthy ecclesiast was delighted to acquire such treasure for his private collection, asking few questions about its provenance. So I gained 50 gold out of this. I mean, that was a good stewardship pick thing. But since I'm greedy these days, that means there's more travel options. The event options where I will find ways to make a bit of fortune. Yeah. Favorite lady's destroyed. As we pass through the market and as we hear a loud yell and stumble into an ongoing tussle between two men, tightly observed by a group of people. The crowd cheers profusely as one of them swept off his feet planted solidly in the dirt, thus concluding the match. Who's next? The man yells into the crowd as the eyes line our group. At my side, Devot snorts in response to the challenge. He's incapable because he's out raiding. I'll do it. I win, and I get additional gold. Traversing the forest in the outskirts of we're suddenly attacked by a swarm of bandit riders, out for blood. Another set of riders rapidly approaching the nearby holding, led by Count Charles. I am very pleasantly surprised by the altruistic demeanor of the local count, and I praise God that they arrived just in time. Charles circles back around and victorious and says, "You should join us for some French hospitality at Blaze. It would be my honor." While charting through Ile-de-France, we ran into some French knights that are deeply respectful and apparently huge lovers of poetry, and they insist on reciting it every chance they get. Their code of conduct may fall has several merits, but I can't help but admire it. One of the knights, Bertrand, is particularly impressive. I should try being more personally chivalrous. +1 diplomacy and prowess. We're passing through Montez as we saw burnt out, hollowed ruins of what appeared to be some sort of residence. My entourage and I were unsure whether this was a mildly interesting or a somewhat concerning location. A local French was passing by. We asked the fellow if he knew anything about the building. Ah, an unfortunate accident that, Ushoka said in excellence. A family farmers lived there. The house burnt down in an accident recently. They say the area is cursed by some fiendish force. We best not tarry here for long, my lord, just in case. I shiver just looking at the ruins. As a brave man, I say, ha! That sounds like some silly superstition. Here we go, back home. And now don't do anything and wait for the raiders to return, come August. But at least, if you're going to spend something, at least try to invest. Because think about the money we have to use. We'll soon get things back up to control. Especially here. Just wait for the money to come in. Don't build anything yet. And remember to be on your guard. If the Duchy of Toulouse calls for war, we'll be there. King Louis has been excommunicated by the Pope. Well, I don't blame you. Look at you. You are the worst king ever. I won't be surprised if anybody wants to install somebody into the throne, you may do so now. Who would be more qualified? Whoever's going to be the next king or queen of France, I'll support it. Not to mention a man as craven is the king, meaning that he'll more likely give up the throne. Matrilineal marriage. King of Asturias. Aha. That would be grand. Do it! Much better control offer. To not have alliance with them, but we gotta spread our dynasty to other places. Kingdoms, duchies, counties, everywhere. The Chelsea party returns but not in triumph. They straggle back, defeated. Their expressions grim, their numbers possibly thin. Devil reports failure, perhaps due to ambushes, unexpectedly strong resistance, or simply ill fortune. They bring little but dust disappointed, but we provoked a bee's nest from them. Gerbert's been imprisoned. Crud. Well, I guess it's raiding time. No, 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 no. Switch to adventure. And station them over here. I want you to make a small investment of militia camps here. Just want to invest a little more on the military side. I got the werewolves too for the raiding speed. Yeah, put on the Norman treaties. Just for the monthly piety to get me out of negative piety. Yes, I'll lead it myself. Ongoing war. Osper these sacks. Well, we found an easy target. But remember, you're raiding co-religionists, which means you're going to be taking a piety penalty, so you better raid somewhere pagan. Like Denmark, per se, but that is a large realm with many soldiers. And they're not at war with anyone at the moment, so that's too risky. Like, won't you raid some... No, not Geltland. Estonia. Estonia has a weak army, and their number of levies are very small, so... Okay, Estonia it is. Raid somewhere pagan? You found one. Start with Serama to Kusare. Estonia is going to be the place to be for a raid. And I will lead it. My vassal Count Vlad of Jean has honored me with a visit and brought one of his courtiers along. That approach is exciting. Well met, Marquess Jordan. Marquess Jordan. It pleases me to see you're thriving here, Hrolfr. It's occurred to me that Mabel here might be of service to the court. She has a myriad of streams of influence and his way of taking care of things quietly. I would make use of her myself, but alas, it doesn't seem possible. I would hate to see a great talent go to waste. Won't you take her and unleash her potential? Ah. Okay. I know the place just for her. You got it. I'm jealous, though. Because I wish you would ditch that, husband of yours. I can't force it. Well, I could, but I don't want to make a habit of having murder feasts. Peasant rabble faction's gone. I saw the raiders of Yarosveka, who's got full loot. Say what? Oh, good. Duke Baldwin of Flanders insults me. How dare you? Insulted me to expect to escape unpunished. Inflammatory rumors already spreading through his treacherous house. If you lost the prestige, And it grants the show supremacy casus belli. The casus belli is a work in progress, not yet implemented. And that would have been a great get. Such a guild officers is necessary. Whoa there! Look! They're gathering raiders. Stop right there. I want to see where they're going. Passed away to pneumonia. Okay, good. I didn't like that guy all that much. Lace is here. Keep it up. Also, I want you to increase the development of the county over here, because this one is the least developed county of the domains. I mean, look at here. 16, 10, 6. This land needs help. The Cid needs development to try to keep up with the rest. All the chiefs. I mean, raiding the capital and then the big one would be a great get. Forget Estonia. Let's raid their capital instead, because it's held by the king. Take one of his children, and we get the good loot. We just gotta wait for them to leave. We can't stay here for long. And this is the one with the biggest loot. Picked up strategic board gamer. Rumors circulate about this character's exceptional skill and passion for board games. They approach gaming as a mental challenge, relishing the opportunity to analyze complex game mechanics and devise winning strategies. Their passion for strategic board games fosters friendly competition and intellectual stimulation within the court. +2 martial, -2 stewardship. Damn pirates! Lost debate trade powers determined by logical factors. Okay, I had to send back home. There's a new king in town. Good. The old king has been deposed. Stalled by faction demand. Which means all the laws will be reset back to normal. On whatever is considered normal. Ransom. I have to pay to King Louis II, but gets a weak hook deaded on him. Okay. I'll pay him. Wait for them to leave. Once they're at sea, raid the capital. You're gonna make me the marshal? Alright. I'll reduce army maintenance and ups my... Just wait till they're at the sea. Adept erudite. Get ready. Once they're at sea, raid. Although I have a feeling we're gonna have to redo this thing again. For supply reasons. I mean, it's only 23 days. You didn't lose much. Oh, and get me the master of the horse. It gives me 3 more knights. 1 day later, all the knights present, so I'll try to raise it again. I just wanted to reset that. We have to go for the big loot place. Go over there. I've been thinking about Mont Saint Abbey. It's not uncommon for Christian rulers such as myself to dedicate some funds to assist in maintaining the site, or even to expand upon it. Perhaps I should do that to show my devotion to God, to all. Well, since I'm a greedy person, I say Mont Saint will be fine without any gifts from me. Everything's back to normal. Because the old king's been deposed and we have a new one. So all the laws set back to default. Duke Robert of Anjou has been excommunicated. Can't declare excommunication war, which would be great for gaining piety. That would be a great way to get it. I have to pay 10 gold to her. Get a hook on Gerbert, who was captured in a raid. Bring him back. Sorry you're going to miss out on the raiding. Now please hurry, because there's a large raiding host that the Danes are sending and we want to loot his most valuable place there is. And bring it back home. There they are. They're out there now. Ships passing through the night, and we're gonna raid Roskilde. Best loot. At 70 what it stands so far. 5 months it'll take. And I don't think we'll have the time to raid this capital before these raiders return. With their loot and their large armies that outnumber us. Recently, I've become aware about the uneasiness of all the religious dignitaries regarding my conduct. This is an extremely egregious. I find no fault in my decisions concerning any religious matter. As things stand, I learned that someone inside my council is diminishing my stand among the religious elites and my piety suffers. Given the poor opinion about me, I think the main suspect of such nefarious acts is none other than Hrolfr. I didn't do what, because he's that wicked bishop. I'll try to mend the situation. 50-50. But it appears nothing happened. I didn't lose a level of devotion, which is good. Because I don't want to be known as a sinner. Negative opinion by my counselors. Yeah, looking at you, you damn old bishop. War profiteer. Monthly gold income while at war. Whenever we intervene, we still get to make income. Months now. Let's make another investment. This needs crops and fields. Farms and fields. We need to have a strong economy before we can establish a strong military before we expand Normandy. The realm of it. Alright, we got it. Ah, catch the Jarl's wife. Excellent. That'll bring great ransom. And since we have plenty of supplies, it's still open season for Estonia. They're in the middle of a war. Gotland Estonian subjugation war. Okay, so war can provide problems for us, and they'll likely go for the capital before any of these more valuable places. Raiding Finland, the Courtiers is out of the question. They're stronger than us. What else is Gotland bringing? Livonia, which is over there. Bornholm and Avenla. Livonia is not a sizable realm, but they're of little value, though comparable. I'm just thinking of who can I take on. Flavian Confederation together, they can muster. Unless you want to go in over river, but that will not do. Just head for Sarama. Just get out of here before the Danes return. Oof. Okay. crap. They've already occupied Sarama. Estonia's a war zone. We can't raid that. It's not eligible to be looted until next year, which we don't have time for that. The guy involved is an ally of Estonia's. Perhaps we can raid there. Just hit them while they're not looking. There's a situation over the coast. Livonia, ally of Geltland, is significantly weak. I guess we can raid there instead, but at the risk of... No. What is this? They're not involved with anyone, and they're weaker. They're just as, if not more valuable. Well, screw it, go overland. Raid that place. They got something that the others do not. But don't overstay your welcome in this very foreign country. And after we raid here, then we gotta go home. I don't care what happens to France, and we'll just say you are a traitor and I'll remain at peace. Plus, we're in the middle of raiding now. Top. The king has been crowned. Take 4 months, and after those 4 months we're going home. High tents constructed, increasing our levy size a bit and strengthening our... Here we go. It is official. Sister-in-law? Just don't get into no affairs, alright? Yeah, I know, she's club-footed, she's hideous, but she's politically important, alright? To secure the future of our dynasty over in Toulouse. Alright? You may not like her, but think of Normandy when you do her, alright? Sway low opinion courtiers or raise dread. We're working on it with the bishop, which he's back to endorsing me. I recall some other... Oh dear. Yeah, I know I have a dreadful behavior of everything. Should be good at everything, just organize the court a bit. Ransom. Aha, the Jarl. How much? 50. There we go. That's what I like. See? All the more reasons we gotta go home. Couldn't capture anybody? Okay then. Alright boys, let's skedaddle. We'll be back in a year's time. Bear with us. To make my personal decision more accessible to my attempts at approach, I could include a compliment in my next mission to a court. I'll be sure to mention her. Who? I will keep it short, professional. Sure, we're carrying 223 gold. Invested farms and fields as well. The king has also been excommunicated by the Pope. Because reasons. Insignificant trade power. Ah! Right, I can see why. Oh, I think I know what to do for another way to increase the investment. I just thought of another. Just hang on, wait until we're home. Something that can help me economically. Dirty gold, crap in a hat. And we can't instill any trade policies because my realm is too small. Which will expand one day. Thought about Flanders since we're having issues between each other. While out strolling one day, at sea somewhere by the way, I stopped to relieve myself. When I finished, I noticed a bit of gleaming on the ground. Careful not to step on my urine. I moved towards a shining object. I realized it's a gold coin. You found a gold coin right in the middle of the North Sea. Like as if somebody dropped a coin on a boat. And it's like, finders keepers. Over here, two servants having an animated conversation. They're complaining about another servant of mine who's known for a rather cruel nature towards some of the other servants. And she often bullies them. It's no secret that many of my servants detest this one. If she were only kinder, the taller servant says, shaking his head. But she never learned how to be kind. One has to wonder if she's even capable of feeling. The Shorenstown servants cross their arms. Alas, we can't do anything, because she serves her lord loyally and competently, without flaw. So what can we do? I should lecture this servant on being kinder to others. Scheming puppeteer. +2 intrigue while lowering the general opinion a bit. Some sadists characterize on manipulating and controlling others like puppets on strings. They are adept at pulling the right strings behind the scenes, orchestrating power plays and rivalries among courtiers to maintain their own influence. Their manipulative nature breeds a climate of suspicion and paranoia. Yeah, we're starving now, but don't worry, we're back. We're back. We'll take the time for the army to recover fully. All of it belongs to my personal treasury, so I don't gain stress or lose stress because of the conflicting traits. But all of it is mine because the greediness overtakes me being just. So now we're paying for the maintenance for everybody to recover. What else? Yes, there's something I wanted to do. Invite Norse settlers. The Norse of Northern Europe are notorious for their raids and hostility towards civilized people like outsiders. However, some of them can be reasoned with. I could invite the more agreeable Norse from abroad to settle in Normandy to help me in various ways. You'll choose between either receiving beneficial character modifiers, county modifiers, new courtier, or special soldiers. Norse settlers may demand extra gold or even titles and react badly if negotiations fail. This decision costs more and has a longer cooldown if your capital is in Southern Europe as opposed to Northern Europe. If you recall the Sicily series, invite Norse settlers, I think it takes about 15 to 20 years. I'm sure it's 10 here. Yeah, 10 years. For historical context. In contrast to the idealized pop history image of Viking raiders as separate from less martial or more civilized Europeans, depending on your ideological slant. Norse relations with other societies were oftentimes rather complicated. For example, even after the Normans began to Christianize, they kept frequent contact with the pagan Scandinavians, while if they came to settle in the territories of the various lords of Normandy, or even fight for or against them, regardless of religious affiliation. Again, you have to be either in Northern Europe or Southern Europe coastlines, not in mainland Scandinavia, own a county that's in the coast, and if your duchy or capital has at least one coastal county, and the Norman culture has not yet reached the high medieval era. So it costs me 150. So I'd like to bring in traders. It could range from 10 to 25 years. It's +1 diplomacy plus stewardship, but the domain taxes as a whole increases. That's why I'm all about investments. Send word to Scandinavia. I've come into contact with a band of Norse adventurers led by a woman named Ade, who have expressed interest in serving me. Ade agreed to provide something in return for me to allowing her band to move into my territories. Though notorious as warriors and raiders, the Norse are also cunning in commerce and widely traveled. Scandinavians' extensive trade networks are a valuable asset for any business-minded ruler. As so it happens, she has the experience of traveling and trading, and is offering to bring traders in my territories to build a productive trade relationship with me. Lastly, I could see if I could ask her to help me defend my territories against the incursions by the hostile Norse, if need be. That's spending prestige and 100% for reprieve, but remember, that's up to the King of France to defend the homeland, besides myself, so there's no need for that. Just say, excellent, that's good enough for now. 25 years of this, for as long as I live. Excellent. Big progress towards the acculturation phase, which we're about to enter it very soon. See, I did that for the investment. But as we recover, we'll go raiding again. The corrupt officials around gain a reputation for being corrupt and morally flawed, focused more on furthering their own interests than what is good for the community. Whether such a assessment is accurate or not, it will reflect poorly on me and my administration. We should take steps to curb these excesses. For 8 years we would have had bad modifiers, but we're cracking down on these corrupt officials, so this county will have increased control growth and popular opinion for the next 10 years. So it's a good thing we saved up a large amount of gold for this, for moments like these. As well as wise investments, while subsequently try to increase the development there to be equal to this and soon this. See? Small harbor, guild halls, fields of France, coastal sea access, all that. So there you have it. Army's fully recovered and we're making some fortune again. Soon these crop fields will be finished. While we still have insignificant trade power, which won't increase unless we expand our coasts. Because we're too small. Even if you build up the infrastructure of the trade ports. One day we'll have to expand. Whenever you feel strong enough. And since Flanders has insulted me, one day I'm going to take your coast. While traveling, I notice a sizable stone on the side of the road. One which is clearly carved by human hands. What is it doing here, I wonder? I get off my horse and come over to investigate. I see there is some sort of writing on the stone, but it's all worn out. There appears to be some carvings of what appears to be people holding weapons, perhaps fighting. A few moments later, a traveler is passing by. He notes my attempts at deciphering what the stone is about, and tells me, I live not too far from here. That stone, according to elders, commemorates the 100 brave youths from here who, generations ago, sacrificed their lives to defeat the evil bandits who are terrorizing these lands. The battle took place right here. What fascinating history, and what brave lads too. Inspired by heroes of the past for the next 10 years. A bit of monthly lifestyle experience. Huh. Yeah, here we go. Adventure phases in transition. On our way to acculturation. Alright, here it is. The current phase of the consolidation Normandie is now at acculturation. After a rewarding adventure phase, or when conflicts of the confrontation phase died down, the consolidation Normandie proceeds smoothly as the region's inhabitants learn to coexist in the acculturation struggle phase. Frequent contact between different groups leads to an exchange of ideas in law, language, military tactics, and more. Adoption of Latin ideas is the most dominant trend, as rulers seek to enforce their authority and more efficiently administer their realm. If there is friction by these attempts to assimilate different ideas and customs, this could cause conflict between lords and groups with differing priorities, leading to a confrontation phase. However, if attempts at the cultural assimilation are successful, this could further Normandie's prosperity, leading to an adventure phase. Here are the phase effects. For war, the struggle clash Cosmopolitan only targets one county. For those involved rulers of at least Duke tier may enforce truces below them. Sending a ward will establish a truce with the Guardian. Involved and interloper characters are more easily accept white peace wars within the struggle region, and to purchase truce interaction costs less gold. So basically, to your vassals, keep the peace. Now for culture. Promote culture proceeds faster within the struggle region. For those involved, releasing prisoners of different culture provides prestige. Learning a new language provides prestige. Converting to an involved culture is less expensive. Increasing the development of the county with a different culture increases cultural acceptance. Opinions of different cultures increase. Cultural fascination progress increases, and so is the cultural acceptance gain. 20 days faster to learn a language. For faith. For the common faith fix. Converting to involved faith is less expensive. Convert to faith proceeds faster within the struggle region. Holy wars cannot be declared within the struggle region. Forming an alliance with another involved ruler provides piety. Interfaith marriages are available between involved characters. Completing buildings and temple holdings provide piety. An opinion of different faiths is 10. And for other. For those involved, monthly piety increase, and development growth increases big time. Just what we need. Because this gives us a lot of time to develop my domain. So that way we could get more income, more levies, and everything that you need. So we're living in better times now. It takes 2 years to increase the development level here. Let it be. Just keep developing. And remember, you're going to have to spend gold to keep up with the development of these lands. Because we know it has sustained. This has not yet reached it yet. A hunt! In Limousine. I mean, I do have the prowess skill to help me out on this. 1 second. I need a master hunt. Master the horse, and master the hunt, and the knight. Don't need to track that. Just track regular game. For now. Until you look for someone. Detailed maps. Oh, it's a good thing I caught that, because this is the one thing I want to keep. That I could spend. Alright, I'm willing to go hunt. It's a bit of a long way. Gilbert, you are the carrier master. I can handle the danger. And I don't want to spend too much because I'm a greedy person. Yeah, I could swing around after the hunt. Just do a bit of travel before returning back. And we'll spring back around. You know, need to be more active on my travels. So let's move out. Go hunt. As me and my companions traverse the dense forests of Normandy, an unusual sight catches my eye. Nestled between the trees, a lone artisan, Hrolfr, is meticulously carving a marble to a beautiful statue. Upon closer inspection, I realize it's a weeper, a mourning figure found often on tombs and monuments in Normandy. The figure is so lifelike it almost seems to weep real tears. Hrolfr explains that weepers are often commissioned by wealthy lords and ladies to adorn their tombs of their loved ones. He offers to sell a nearly finished piece, or if you're interested, you could share more about the history and significance of these sculptures. All the braveness in me says, It says, weeping, weakness, carve a statue that laughs at death. 30% chance of success, 70% chance of failure. Artistic differences. Torch stares at me for a long moment. The Lord jests, turns to his whipping figure, clearly dismissing my revolutionary vision. Some people simply aren't ready for a genius. As we travel by the Seine, we notice a man loudly cursing his life and complaining about his traitorous crew. As we get closer, we see him standing by the remains of a small, wrecked trading vessel. My lord, can you ask for a moment of your time? I'll happily pay for some food and assistance in repairing my boat. He asks with a faint smile on his face. I notice most of his goods seem to be well kept despite his misfortune. For a price, maybe. Pay up! I did that because I'm greedy. Take any advantage you can get. While traversing the challenging path, I hear laughter. My martial Hugh and my knight Param are working together to cross a wide, grassland-fed river. Hugh, your idea to make a makeshift bridge was brilliant, exclaims Param. Hugh replies with a chuckle, and you're quick thinking with those long grasses tied together. These also led to new friendship. What are both military-minded men? So this will hasten our journey indeed. We want to get to the hunt. Aren't those strawberry plants? I ask, as we pass by some heavy foliage near the road, many plants and bushes. I point out what looks like a strawberry plant, but there are no berries on it. Perhaps someone passed by and picked off some strawberries earlier. Andre walks over and runs his hand through the plant's leaves, examining its physical appearance before shaking his head. These are barren strawberries, he corrects me. They look similar, but don't produce any fruit. The leaves are also a little different, if you look closely. Fascinating. What else do you know about these plants? So I learned an interesting trivia about wild plants for a bit of monthly lifestyle experience, especially stewardship that I'm on for 3 years' time. Now for historical context. Biological context, excuse me. Potentilla sterilis, also known as strawberry leaf, or barren strawberry, is a plant in the rose family native of Europe, which is known for looking similar to the wild strawberry plant. Unlike the strawberry, the barren strawberry bears no fleshy fruit. Passing to a remote village, the gathering of peasants in the distance catches my eye. Before a small crowd, under a ramshackle trellis painstakingly covered in a variety of wildflowers, stands 3 figures: a man, a woman, or what I surmise is a local priest. Whilst the wedding is nothing out of the ordinary, the joining of 2 souls always seen as a momentous occasion by both the common folk and nobles alike. Perhaps I should act accordingly. Well, I'm a greedy person, I said. Time for a marriage tax! Gain 50 gold! Ha! That'll make up for spending on dealing with these corrupt officials in my capital. That's my tutor. Hey, it's just a little cough. We can't stay here. We got hunting to do. And she dies, she dies. As you pass by a village in the Bourbon region, are approached by Alberic, the village elder. He explains that the village is renowned for its Bourbonnais ware, the type of pottery that is highly sought after as a luxury good throughout Europe. We're holding a competition to determine the best potter, and the winner's work will be traded far and wide. My lord, your discerning eye and refined taste will be invaluable in judging our competition. He pleads, would you do us the honor by selecting the winner? One day ain't gonna kill you. I'm afraid I have no time for such matters. The village I was disappointed but understands my decision. Because I got hunting to do, and I'm greedy. It seems our caravans have come a little lost in these forests. Garbets and trail us around Goren for hours. Though these last swallows wide and does not appear to be an expert in long speaker. Hey, let me try. The ok, not the This is a different kind of language. Let me try. Successful. Learned his interpretations, and here we are. As we arrive at the rest of the guests, Count Enric has started these preparations. His gamekeepers check the woodlands for each day of signs of quarry while building a camp closer to the hunting grounds. I've checked my gear and horses many times. It won't be long now. So, chances don't look good. Just want to have a good hunt. Nobody assembles the party as the sun rises over the hunting grounds, nestled in English forest. Local gamekeepers scour the vicinity for recent tracks films. A stout buck is definitely near, and the conditions could hardly be better for hunting it. Ultimately, Conrad decides to just want to hunt the stag for the day. You going big, huh? Let's get out there. You found tracks. The noise there is as faded as my fellow vassal Prince Carloman of Frisia, and I stalk off on the stag. We're also within striking distance when Connor is. Now that we're finally low, I have something to tell you about the king. Yeah, I know, he's not a good person and he doesn't like me. But, talk later, fellow vassal. If I want to know about what goes on with the king, which I don't know he's here. I didn't notice that as I was just looking around on myself. My acquaintance Otton is first to spot its branching antlers. The flighty buck is hard to distinguish, but there's no doubt there of Zaren's to his lead bushes. Count Enric takes off the base screen. Come! It's getting away! So he decided to pick the option. To increase his chances a little bit. Tens flush prey. She died of pneumonia. The exhausted, panicked animals turned to bay, struggling to stand the snorting of panic. Conrad cries, "Quick, Gaston! Take the shot!" Gaston takes aim as the party keeps the exalted stag in place, exhale and loose. The arrow strikes true into the beast's heart. No one can shoot a stag down like Gaston, who is Gaston de Toulouse, Chancellor and Physician of Count Enric. And he's the heir to the Duchy of Toulouse. Well, I believe, because we know he's of Toulouse. Duchess of Toulouse. Not yet pregnant. But give it time, you two. Get to know each other, alright? He's a nice person. Nephew. Oh! Yeah, we do. But he's not heir to the title. What kind of line of succession are you running on? Male preference. Yeah, I know. It is legitimate. De Normandie. Will rule Toulouse. Okay, there you go. Just took its time to register. Okay, good. Good shot, Gaston. You're not the heir anymore, old man. I'll maintain skill. Everything could go easy to do so. There were still nice. We've returned home with the Dune, so I wasn't able to get that beast, but at least I picked up the hunter trait. And the stag antler goes to Gaston, the beast slayer. But at least I have the hunter trait, so at least those travel options, those regional travel events, at least the hunter option will go up. We got lucky. But now I just wanted to tour the country a bit. And perhaps some monetary opportunities. As me and my party traverses the lush forests and rolling hills of Aquitaine. A sudden rainstorm catches me off guard. A downpour quickly turns into a muddiness, and without warning, the earth beneath to give way. I find myself and my companions, including Salova and Theobald, inside a hidden underground church. The ancient walls are adorned with faded frescoes, the air thick with dampness and decay. As rain continues to pour, the structure begins to collapse, and I must act quickly to escape. Salova, the most intelligent member of your party, suggests searching for a hidden exit, while Theobald, the strongest, believes that brute force could be used to break through its weakened walls. Hey, forget escaping! Think of the treasures buried here! 95% chance success, 5% failure. Come on! Tomb Raider. While others panic, I spot ancient relics gleaming in the rubble. I grab a jeweled cross and a golden chalice before the final collapse. Sacrilege has never been so profitable. Big money. I could use that money to go to the university. Stone the crows. Just as we're about to set out, it starts snowing. I can't help but curse my poor luck, but I'd seen the clouds coming for a while. Doesn't seem to let up anytime soon. If we want to make our journey on time, we have to set out, but riding through a snowstorm is risky at best. A little bit of snow won't hurt anyone. Go! Faster. The more temperate parts of the Mediterranean coast awaits. The walls are gone there. My entourage is Charlie Thurgat. We end up in a conversation with a representative of the local merchants guild, enthusiastically and charismatic named Isnebe. From Normandy, you say? We've actually been interested in setting up a workshop in Harcourt. You wouldn't mind able to do us a favor here, would you? He gives me a wink and puts a coin on the table. Random economic building for the city of Harcourt. Huh. Tell you what, give me the money directly and I can make something work. Nobody will mind if we bypass some laws and regulations to make this deal work, I'm sure. Development growth jumps by 25, but control decreases, which we can handle that. Let him rest and recover. Because I'm beginning to respect that man. If I could sway you further, Ben Mead, even though she's getting old here. Maybe perhaps you and I are going to get along. I might even learn your language. Alright. Get this back under control. Take in a year's time. Switch back to manage domain and we'll have it under full control in 10 months' time. And it's a good thing we have to stop here so the winter can go away. The coastal marshes simmer under the sun. A patchwork of shallow pools divided by urban walls. Workers wade through the green, their skin bronze and salt crusted, breaking white crystals into gleaming pyramids. This is the salt harvest. White gold that preserves meat, cures hides, and fills merchant coffers. Jordan. Not me. Different Jordan. The Master Paladin. Notices our parting ways to ignore them. City folk, come see how honest work is done. The sea gives freely those who know how to receive. The taste of green earth. Workers pause to watch as I approach, curious about these trolls who wandered through their ancient domain. Say, how much for a cartload? I know merchants who paid well. Shrewd purchase. I negotiate directly with him, cutting out the middlemen who usually handle such trades. The salt I purchase at March prices will sell for triple than any in Lindsay. A profitable detour indeed. It's good to be greedy. As I'm looking through the market stalls here in Nimitz, I feel my purse string cut. Despite my immediate reaction, the thief disappears in the crowd. Only through pure coincidence. One of my guards sees the man and heads to the back alley. Stop, or I'll have your head. One of my guards shouts at him. The thief runs around giving us an angry, shifty stare. You only got 2 traits. But since I'm a greedy man, I say, filthy thief, you think you'd steal from me? Death! We should travel more often. The opportunity to make fortune during my travels is excellent. Wild animals came to our camp last night while we were in Valence. No one was hurt, but they did ransack some of our food supplies. Crap! We have to accept our losses. It's only a tiny health penalty, it ain't gonna kill you. Oh, dead horse. Greedy, just... She can ride a spare donkey. As we walk down the manor in Saint Denis, the local landowner, Bartholomew, they say this part of the state is haunted, my lord. I hesitantly look around, the hall a bit darker than I would have expected. Candles flickering at their posts. We stop by the old dining hall. Bartholomew turns again, this time with a grin. Would you like the tour of the haunted manor? Oh, intriguing, because I'm brave. We're walking down a dark and deserted hallway. Few furnishings we come across are covered up with sheets, adding to the ghostly atmosphere. Was that a rat? I hurry up to catch on to it. Authority turns faces, squinting the others' words. And through here, my lords and ladies. Now, what's this nook over here? Find something interesting. I fumbled in the darkness, doing my best to ignore the slight sense of panic that the darkness invokes in me. I hurried through the next doorways, trying to find a group. Then suddenly, a large dark shape comes swooshing down on top of me. I let out a shriek of surprise. I counted my senses, finding the group standing between the room I just entered. I then strolled briefly through the left. They pointed to me. My lord, it's you. You had a good time? Oh, yes, indeed. Just wanted to crease that to help me out with the swaying. Alright. I'm home. Oh yeah. Since you got lots of dread, men-at-arms maintenance reduced per dread. Which does increase the monthly income as we don't have to pay as much for the maintenance. As much as I would like to upgrade all these buildings, I'm going to have to do a bit of traveling, which I should do that more often. But where exactly? March Religious Center, University, local face hostile to mine. What do you mean? Aren't they still iconoclasts over there? No. Hostile? What gives? Antiquity. Like, I don't recall the Orthodox Church being hostile. I thought we were... Is there a difference? Aha! They're missing ecumenism. I think we know why. Those iconoclasts. They have their own patriarch. Because I do recall seeing iconoclasts there. And they said, no, we're the legitimate church. The Orthodox are heretics. Okay, that makes sense. I would like to go down to Rome. Haven't gone down to Rome before. Just go on a business trip at the same time University. And bring mercenaries with you. And Mountaineer. Go down this route first. And then after that, you reach the Vatican, and then go visit Rome. No, just make a cross-country trip of Italia. Sharp turn. I mean, I've been in these places before, but I never went to places like Serbia or Constantinople. Yeah, this is beyond me. So, oh, and I can also go to there too. Sentka, what the hell are you doing? After Firenze, then you go that way. And then you'll be back home, okay? I'd like to study hard. This is a big investment. But hopefully give me some stewardship perks. And I need to get out more. I'd like to pick this up for inspection, so I can do the inspection activity. And if I do more traveling, I can do the thing where I can get a domain limit up. And then revoke somebody's title or conquer someone's land. Looking at you, Flanders. And hold it for myself. Trade him. Damn pirates. English Channel pirates. Damn. An alliance with a rump state. Well, that's up to the regent. Oh no. That cheese is the one that killed my father. I've seen this event before. But I'll say, teach me all your cheese-making secrets. I'll start my own abbey. The recipe is a gift from God, not a trade secret. Oh, the grandma says, really. Monks close ranks. Some knowledge is not for sale. Well, that cheese is what made my father sick, and then he later got pneumonia and died. We'll find another path. Good luck. Financial seminar in the ghetto. In the hilly terrain of the Duchy of Genoa, I receive an invitation from a local Jewish community. They're holding a financial seminar in the ghetto, a district where they have been forced to live in due to the social prejudices of the time. The seminar promises to provide valuable insights into trade and commerce, skills that could prove useful in managing your estates. However, attending would require navigating some complex social dynamics of the quarter. You'll be seen associated with a group looked down upon by the Christian majority. Ben Mead. Well, the most intelligent companion suggests it could be a learning opportunity, while Gubred, my master, warns about the potential social repercussions. I care not what the others think. Knowledge is knowledge. I attend openly, ignoring disapproving looks. The seminar proves invaluable. Techniques for managing loans, investments, and trade that few Christians know. My boldness earns the respect from the Jewish scholars. 22 prestige, 100 stewardship lifestyle experience, and gained scrolls of commercial wisdom. It's a trinket. Let me see here. Ancient scrolls containing valuable insights in trade and commerce, gifted by the Jewish community of Genoa. Well, I do want more development growth of all the lands. Alright, take that off. Put on these scrolls. This helps the development growth because I want to see my land developed. The village we're staying at, the number of locals have offered their services without cut. They'll be able to gather feed their horses in a much more efficient way than my normal servants would. I've heard good things about the abilities of these sort of laborers based on the conversations I've had with the other tribes who were to stop by the inns and towers of Genoa. We've had this event before while we were traveling through Persia as the previous character. We're getting by with some of the servants I have. There's no need for that. Careful not to oversleep again. Pass through Pisa. You can ride a spare donkey. Sorry, money isn't going to be spent for your horses. Here we are. St. Peter's Basilica. I'm finally here, walking the halls of the Vaticano, revered seat of all knowledge of the Catholic world. I have so much to learn from the holy men and women who gather between these venerable walls. And what about the ancient scrolls and books? Of course, major centers of culture also active markets and offer all the distractions that the student could ever desire. Time to get started. Italian, Prussian. Haggled in the markets. Of course, that would happen. Waters of sand has risen above normal levels. Wet in the soil in the surrounding areas. While it could help to bolster the harvest, the water continues to rise without rest. It would be wise to halt all construction in the region until the flood waters have settled. Ensure many of the people can, as possible, can reach safety. The Siennes soon flood. Oh my god! I mean, I won't be present during the flood event, which means I'll be safe, but this is going to affect everybody. It's about to occur next month. There's a way to save everyone. Move capital. You can't move there while traveling. Oh crap. That means some of my courtiers and others are going to get killed. And those in Paris. And the king who's leading an army who's gathering. He's probably going to be out of there before the flood occurs, but... oh god. Flood relief is already being planned in Beaumont. So, remember, this is a warning. Before many natural disasters, signs ought to precede the event, whether obvious or subtle. These changes in the environment can offer a warning. A vigilant ruler who pays attention may be able to act in time to minimize losses. There's me, the king, and the count. We're going to get affected by it, but I'm not present, and neither is the king. But the count is present. So here's what's going to happen when disaster strikes. As the warning will end next month. As disaster strike, the ruler's purpose will be put to the test, regardless of efforts. Fatalities are likely, halting progress in the area. The region will enter a period of instability due to loss of development and damage to existing infrastructures. Events resulting in potential fatalities will occur, and events resulting in development loss will occur. And then comes the recovery phase, which we've seen that done before with that great wildfire in Rouge. And the flood severity? is going to be Tier 3. This is going to be a catastrophic flood of the Seine River. And I'm not there for it. I'm over in the Vatican, hosting a university, while disaster strikes. Meanwhile, as I'm leaving class after a deep, thought-inducing class by Radu, my attention is drawn by the chaotic laughter and screaming coming from inside. Cluckless, the Prussian, clearly intoxicated and barely standing on his feet, is nevertheless delighting a cheering crowd with some diligent rhymes about the joys of drinking, as well as known by local clergy. When they notice me, they chant me, "Join us! Join us!" The proud dude's face speaks volumes on his thoughts about the whole matter. This is outrageous! A much-needed precipitation falls upon the lands near the Seine, ensuring the harvest will continue as cultivated. Though the earth is more than sated, the rain grows in intensity and shows no sign of stopping. The sun is nowhere to be seen, and the river begins to flow inland. So remember, you're already power sharing and don't need to make any changes to accommodate for the extra burden. Contributions to disaster recovery will cost you 10% less while you're power sharing, because I'm away. All I'm hearing is weather reports from over there, and I'm down here in nice sunny Italia. 10 less. Used to be 4 and something, but something to think about in the future, if you have the money for it. But instead I just decided to invest on going to that university to be well educated, instead of flood relief. Vaticano is the center of studies that truly attracts students from all over the world. This realization hits me as I contemplate myself how my fellow pursuers of knowledge, including Almari, the French, and Clukis, the Prussian, all foreigners in Vaticano. I wonder if there's any way I can take advantage of this. We can all learn from each other. The French and the Normans, the cultural access increases with +10. And I don't know you Prussians, but hey, we're nice to each other. Foreign exchange students. 15, 16, 17. Here we go. The news of the disaster, of a recent disaster, is grim, and people are in disarray. Rulers of the surrounding regions watch the destruction with keen interest, carefully assessing the extent of the devastation. An effort must be made to contain the crisis and salvage what can be recovered. It would be unwise to sit idly while such a thing unfolds. The leveling for the Seine is imminent. So the king lost 50 legitimacy. Every county in the disaster area has just been reduced by 16. Gained severe flooding for the duration of reconstruction, meaning less supply limit, construction time 70%, development growth is indefinitely halved by -500%, controlled decline by 0.80 a month, popular opinion +25, travel danger +30, and plague resistance -12. It can only be removed if everybody in West Francia puts their funds aside and send it to flood relief. I don't have the money yet, but all I can say is please help. So, look at it. It's Tier 3. This is gonna last a month. So we'll be hearing in events of what's gonna happen from our end while I'm sitting here being educated. The realm is abuzz with terror-filled rumors of the Seine flood. Floodwaters claimed many across the affected lands, even nobles and courtiers, though I am far from the worst of it. The scale loss is sombering. I'm lucky to be alive as I'm not here and... Oh my god! Valerian, Huffway, Robert, Jocelyn, Mayor Aldrich of Monterey, Edward, Maud, Fuck de Tony, Hardfly, Luke, Gatar, Vincent Savasan, Odebrana, Oswald, Hermes Saint Helene de Ponte, and Countess of Vanderville. All of these characters randomly died. The once tall, brooding walls of the surrounding town of San have crumbled, making it impossible to station any regiments there. Warriors are moved to safer areas, but this in turn creates vulnerability for the region. At its weakest moments, the land lies in ruin, undefended and vulnerable. This grows more dim by the day. Damaged fortifications. Now we're very vulnerable to foreign invasions. Unless people can put their money to reconstruction next month. Second impact. The realm is abuzz with typhoid rumors. Even more nobles and courtiers. Count Bertrand of Vangre. That's my half-sister that lived in Normandy. Ali, the Castilian Iraqi, also died there. Osman, too. Godfred, Vincent. She was swept away by the flood. And the capital, Paris, in the county of Ile-de-France, also affected by these damaged fortifications. It's not over yet. Third impact. Princess of Frisia. There's Gamon. Gabay. Gatterhorn of Brittany. Baron Leon. My half-sister Solova. She was the good one. And some. Meanwhile... Attention students, my teacher, Cortel shouts. Pope Stephanus in tow. Our benefactor, Pope Stephanus, is dangerous to visit. He is the ruler of these lands. Be on your best behavior. Ah, you're debating Bilbamancy. I'm quite fond of that subject myself. Hope your studies are going well. The King Bishop says while folding his arms. The King Bishop has the power to assign special privileges to students such as myself. Perhaps to take this opportunity to speak up. Well, I can't be doing that because I'm a greedy person. I'll just say you are most serene. Plus, money's going to disaster relief. Years of investment and the fruits of backbreaking labor in the region are undone in a blink of the eye. Families abandon their ancestral homes as all that remains is rubble. Chroniclers lament the loss of sacred and rare treasures, along with the military's vital stockpiles of supplies. Cellars and subterranean buildings are altogether lost. Exits submerged in flood water. Movements become nigh impossible. Beasts of burden and man alike sink into the sodden earth. There will be so much to rebuild. Our development level just been reduced. Growth's been hit by 2 and on by 3. And every realm of the county of disaster just lost half of its development. Oh. Nobles and common folk alike rejoice at the end of the same flood. The joy is fleeting, as the effect of disaster is soon to be revealed. Efforts are in place to restore what was lost and comfort those who fell victim to the disorder. Let's hope the efforts are adequate. Oh my god. The best thing I can do is either survivor recovery or land drainage. Housing reconstruction would be the big one. The steward is not available because we don't have one. Okay. She was the steward with Solova. You're the heir, brother. Yeah, that's why we didn't have one, because we couldn't spin it because the steward wasn't present. Stewardship game is Haveld, even though you're developing Lisieux, which is not part of the flood disaster zone. Because that's not affected by it, but here, I mean, we're slowly gaining control, but this is going to be reduced. None of the buildings were destroyed, but the construction has been slowed down for the duration. But at least we'll continue developing this, so let it keep up. But I lost my 2 sisters, thus losing my 2 alliances. Good people. At least you survived. I mean, oh, you were traveling with me. Anyways, let's finish this university thing and then we'll end the episode. Because the next episode will be traveling on the way back and flood relief. If anybody can pitch in and help me. Because I don't have the money for it. So gotta get trade power. The halls of the University of Vaticano often echoes in debates and students and teachers, some of which escalates to notorious rivalries, like between Legon and Mercant. When I found today, they are, as usual, screaming at each other, trying to prove whose field of study is better equipped to discuss what planet should be considered as most important. Something less usual, however, suddenly they noticed me approaching and asked me to take a position. I'll say that he is right. Teaching at the Vaticano takes part in most oral form. Students are encouraged to exercise their rhetorical prowess and show the progress of the learning debates in front of their peers and teachers. Today, Torquato asked me and Normandie to take up opposing sides on the topic of reason versus faith to discuss it out. Let me begin from the scripture, as everyone knows. I lost the debate. Torquato, one of the most respected teachers at Vaticano, is clearly a foreigner. His accent and manners betray him as an Italian. While not strictly necessary for my studies, learning his mother tongue would foster a privileged relationship with him, which is bound to be a good investment in the future. Well, try it at least. I didn't learn his language. Unfortunately, my studies weren't good. It's been such an amazing experience. When I left, I couldn't even imagine a number of the wise men that studied at Vaticano. The depth of their thinking, the breadth of their research, just being part of their same environment made me a much better person. With my new gained knowledge, I can make my way home very satisfied. Knowledge is powered. A lot of gold was invested in buying rare precious books, so your stewardship increased by 1, and you were able to get a perk. Norman about warfare. An elegant tome that shows an excellent understanding of warfare as touches upon subjects such as ancient military campaigns. The cover is wood that's ought to be painted for display a repeating image of inspirational quotes. Tributary tax, vessel tax contribution. Every little tax helps out here. For now, we have to end the episode here. As because in the next episode, Well, flood relief. We're waiting for that. If somebody can pitch in. So all I can say is please help me. When this is complete, flood fertility would be great for the development growth to get us back up on track. On contribution funded, remember, you have to think wisely. Permanent modifier. Funded. Stewardship managed to assign natural disaster recovery efforts. They will be unavailable for other tasks until the disaster relief great project is completed. Housing reconstruction would be the first thing that I'll do. So, for the next episode, I'll be traveling across parts of Italia, hopefully find some money-making opportunities, and then we can use that money for flood relief and all that. Unless vassals, who some of which probably have lots of money in their pockets, just send it over to us, especially to the king. But he's in the middle of a war right now, so we hope people have enjoyed this episode. So this episode is taking on a different tone, and the start of the next will have a different tone, and then perhaps we'll have to return to raiding again, and all that and more. So we'll see you in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.